All right, guys, it's Katie again. We are picking up right where we left off last week in episode 108. If you haven't listened to that one yet, I highly encourage you to go back and start over. We are having a conversation with Jami, the neurodivergent nurse. So in case you're new and you're not used to our voices yet, my name is Katie. This is my voice. Garrett is the one with the chickens and the haunted house. And Jami has a Southern accent. So that's how you can differentiate us if you're listening and you're new and you're not familiar with our voices yet. Otherwise, enjoy the episode and we'll see you at the end when we say goodbye. And as always, just find small slivers of joy for yourself during this really, really difficult time in history. We love you.
I'm doing God's work over here, guys. I
Just
got it.
like that, Katie.
That's about the only thing we could do because nothing else matters.
Yeah. Yeah, I personally will not be touching it.
I'm sorry. I'm just so bright and sunny. I can't help it today.
I try to look for the optimism. We're all going to die.
No, we're just going to suffer for the rest of our lives.
It won't be death, just suffering.
Yep.
But at least if we need a good laugh or a good prank, we have an old-timey wheelchair to use.
That's true. I think it's just going to be such a good Halloween prop to put a scarecrow in to hand out candy.
When I tell you I won't even go in the attic, I have like 20, and I'm not exaggerating, like 20 boxes currently booby-trapped up on the stairs and then like pushed the door shut to hold them in place because I will not go up there. I literally said to my spouse, I was like, you're going to have to put stuff in the attic at some point and I won't be doing it. And just so you know, also when you open the door, everything will collapse. So at some point, you're probably going to want to take care of it. It doesn't have to be today because that stuff's been there for like a month and it hasn't moved. So it'll probably be fine.
Sound fun to live with.
I am. You just never know what you're going to get. Something really horrifically gross, creepy, scary, maybe.
Speaking of Halloween, circling back to what you just said with the wheelchair, pre-COVID, so one of my closest friends is a doctor and he used to throw these like huge Halloween parties and he would actually have trophies to give out. So he would give it out to couples and then also like a single person, right? But it had to be unique. It couldn't be store-bought type of thing. So before COVID happened, obviously he did not have a Halloween party that year, but I had decided that we were going to go as a married couple and their unvaccinated kids. So I had like a little stroller for my dog that I was going to put a skeleton in. I had like a little baby holder thing that I was going to put a skeleton in. I was going to like, oh man, I was so bummed.
That costume still works.
But nobody's having Halloween parties that would understand and not like try to kill me. So,
oh my God.
Yep.
I
was very proud. Yeah. Yeah. We would have won first place.
For sure.
Man.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile,
especially with nothing but medical professionals there too. Like,
yeah,
yes.
Absolutely.
Oh,
yeah.
Such a good costume idea.
Thank you.
That's excellent.
Damn.
Yeah. It's poignant and simple and devastating. I love it. It is crazy though, like especially like all these like, you know, mom groups and stuff that I follow now. Like you see people, there was somebody asking for like a local pediatrician that's not going to force vaccines. And then you get the completely divisive comments where half the people are like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Get your kids vaccinated, you dummy. And the other half of the people are like, you should be allowed to make your own medical decisions.
Just drink raw milk.
And raw
the chunks
milk.
are healthy.
Raw milk. What? So many. And that's so now that I'm following all this like farming content, I get a lot of the like super right wing, and I think the algorithm's still trying to like figure things out. But it's like they send me.
You're
something
an anomaly,
like,
Garrett.
Yeah, I'm like, this is not it.
You end up on that side of things a lot.
It's because it's all the related stuff. Like you're reading about chickens, and suddenly it's like, here's how to not vaccinate your kids. Or you're reading about, oh, like, what do I do with a chicken coop? And they're like, do you want raw milk? Don't let the government tell you how to raise your family. It's
okay. We won't have an FDA pretty soon either. Like, that's going to go to the wayside.
Just have brain worms.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is that kind of thing where it's like, well, you should wash the eggs that you get from your chickens on account of the vent MRSA that you've been spreading around your farm.
I give people eggs. I'm like, just make sure you wash them. Why? I'm like, because they have poop on them. What do you mean, why? Wash them off.
Because I didn't wash them.
Yes.
Like, the ones you got from the store, those have been washed.
Right.
Mine haven't.
Yeah. I was like, I don't wash them because I don't want to put them in my fridge. Like, just wash them before you use them, please. Please. Also, crack them into a separate dish before you put them in whatever you're making.
Why?
Just to be sure. You can get weird stuff in eggs.
What?
I wouldn't say like with all eggs generally, but farm eggs for sure. Like fresh, like real fresh eggs.
So what does putting them in a different bowl do, though, if you crack them in the bowl and then move them?
It gives you a moment to assess the egg before you're putting it in your food.
Oh, I see that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just as like a precautionary thing.
I was like, it doesn't clean it anymore.
That's
okay. It's very...
No.
Thank you. That's where I was getting lost as well, and I was like, right.
But if Garrett says, I'm definitely going to agree.
Eggs? I'd probably cook them the same way, but what do you do?
I mean, like, I know it's common sense here, but just in case anybody has questions, let's...
Also, what do you do to boil water?
Also, what weird stuff would be in the eggs?
I mean, you can... So if... They can be... You can have a sick chicken that can have like something going on with their eggs. You can have like
what would that look like?
There's some like parasitic things that can be in eggs.
You see worms in it in the yolk?
You probably could. Yeah, you probably could in the yolk. Like I know with mine when I crack them because I have roosters, the yolk has like a little tiny bullseye and you can tell that it's a fertilized egg, which I think is cool. Like there's nothing in it that's like it's so small that you're not gonna notice anything. But you can just like see this little tiny itty bitty bullseye that shows.
Can you still eat that one?
Yeah. Is that extra protein? Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean,
all I know about
that would be more amino acids, so it would be great. Yeah.
Probably.
So there's like a bunch of somehow Orthodox Jewish people on my TikTok feed, which is fine. It's very interesting because I get to learn all about eating kosher. But one of the things that they do is that they'll crack an egg into a clear glass to see if there's any blood. Because if there's blood, they can't eat it. It's like not kosher or something.
And I mean, and that's a normal thing. Like you can see a little bit of blood. I mean, you can see a little bit of blood on the outside of the egg.
But I think if you wash it, that's fine.
Yes.
And it goes away.
Yes.
But yeah, so because otherwise eggs are parve and can be eaten with milk or with meat, but not both at the same time. So if there's blood in it, then it's milk or it's meat and not parve, if that makes sense.
How did you wind up in Orthodox Jew TikTok?
I don't know.
Like my weird TikTok or my weird algorithm makes sense because of the farming stuff.
I don't know.
I'm always curious when something hits my feed. Sometimes I'm like, I know exactly why.
I'm assuming because I post a lot of, or like repost a lot of like pro-Palestine stuff. So
they're trying to settle you down.
Like, well, that or like there's always a few comments on those posts, which like to the extent that those posts aren't talking about Palestine, I don't know if that it's appropriate to really attack people for their religion. Like, I don't think the Jewish religion really has anything to do with the genocide in Palestine.
Right.
But so I think that's why those wires got crossed.
And I think that's
like
a lot of the social tension that's coming with that is because of that. I think people are like equating every Jewish person with a genocide being committed.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, but when you couple that with like the space lasers that they created to destroy people,
and
I mean, it just
goes
hand in hand. Yeah,
that's true.
Well, but I mean, the Democrats did here too with Hurricane Helene because of the iodine that's over the western North Carolina. So they definitely shot up whatever into the clouds. So
that does make sense. That's why
because it's a liberal city in North Carolina. So. Yeah,
I bet the chemtrails also like to probably influence that.
Probably.
Yeah, I should take my little Kim meter out there from time to time to see like
that's
how
what
much
the drones
residue's
are
left
doing.
over. Yeah,
over
they came from New Jersey.
I did see someone when the topic
this episode's going to be on all the weird pages.
This is how the algorithm.
I think I figured it out. Somebody on one of the, like, somebody was talking about preventing bird flu spread, because it's a lot of it's being spread with wild birds interacting with domesticated birds. So like pulling feeders, making sure they're not eating from the same feeders, things like that. Somebody, in all seriousness, said that there was not a bird flu and that the birds were sick because of 5G.
Yeah, that
5G.
makes sense. Well, yeah, we vaxxed the birds. So therefore,
when you said domesticated
vaccine.
Birds, I was picturing like a cockatiel. And so I was
Gary
like, well,
Stubbs.
why would you? Yeah, I was like, why would you let your like macaw outside where it's going to like it gets yard time like it's in prison.
It gets conjugal visits from the outside birds.
I mean, it kind of
going
is
at it with a
in
blue
prison.
jay.
Never a
That's
blue
what the
jay.
coop is used for. Like, that's really why she keeps the heater in there. She wants to be a very comfortable environment, very
Right,
welcoming.
it's for the rainforest birds. On their
I want them
visits.
to have Stockholm syndrome and love me.
Yeah, so I had a little brain fart,
You
but
sound like our current administration then,
Yeah.
or about to be current as of today. So
yeah.
Well,
yeah.
this is the test to make sure whether or not it was a brain fart. Katie, what's causing sick birds? Is it bird flu or is it 5G?
It's Ultra 5G actually. So yeah.
Well,
could the windmills have effect, like the ones that survive the windmills? Because that causes a bird sanctuary and cancer.
Yeah, they give you cancer,
So if they
too.
survive,
That's why the orcas went crazy, because the vibrations from the windmills are causing them to attack yachts in the Mediterranean.
Y'all, we need to run the country, just the three of us, because like we have everything solved.
The three.
Our logic is just on point.
The gender bender Three Stooges remake is gonna be so good.
It's gonna be like the
TM.
Ghostbusters.
But I do think that periodically Garrett should not have a working microphone, so therefore we can overlap.
It also keeps me from oversharing gross things, so it's probably for the better.
I don't know that it really keeps you from that.
Suddenly you see me in the chat, like,
you guys, it was leaking.
It was pus everywhere.
So in the grout, all over the tub.
I tasted it just in case to make sure it was authentic.
It's called the Farm's Marmalade, and it's a special order item. You can get it on our website.
And don't pasteurize it, guys. Don't let the government
can't.
tell you that you can't taste that.
We did cold canning. You're still muted, Garrett.
I thought that was the game we were playing.
I thought you were in on it. And then you said something and looked so proud of yourself, and I was like, oh no.
I never muted it. When I hit my keyboard, fake typing, it muted me.
Oh my god.
Well, that's why we were talking over you. We're not.
I was like, whatever, that was a really funny joke, but okay.
You guys are
Not that I remember it, by the way, but it was really funny.
Oh well. Lost to the sands of time.
This is like Katie
most
and I.
of the thoughts I have.
The other day we were talking about, like, both kind of like, oh yeah, like I should probably cut back on drinking a little bit. I was like, yeah, I should probably cut back on smoking weed a little bit. And I was like, but I'm never like a total space cadet. And then it occurred to me why, and it's fucking ADHD. Because I'm not a space cadet, because it's just making my brain function like a fucking neurotypical person instead of an ADHD person with my little crazy brain waves. So yeah, we like had that conversation like a day and a half later. I was like, it's the ADHD. I'm not the problem.
Yeah.
It's my
yeah,
brainwaves.
maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's ADHD.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what I should tell like my providers when they ask, like, "Oh, how much do you drink a week?" And I'm thinking, I'm in the medical field, so like, are we basing it on bottles? But I don't want them to think poorly of me because I understand. Yeah, but shh.
That's a good one for the turkeys. The turkeys would have liked that joke.
I should just tell them that's my medication. 5-ants and wine.
Oh, yeah. God damn. I mean,
the uppers
and the
downers.
I sent her this very long thing, and then I was like, but this is why I have to. All of these, you saw the whole thing, the whole list of things, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's fair to take a puff or two.
Oh,
Yeah. I think it's fair to do whatever you want to do, as long as it doesn't hurt anybody else.
Truly.
You do you.
I'm like, man.
Well, that was really the end of the conversation. I was like, as long as like an emergency happens and you are still able to communicate with 911 of why you need an ambulance, you're fine.
I was like, and truly, it's, never at the point where I'm like out of it. I'm just a little sleepy, generally, because I'm usually just really tired.
That would
You're
be
not
a
getting
nice
high
feeling
like
to have,
me,
though.
and you can't feel your legs, and I'm stuck in a pool because my legs don't work and I can't get out.
What's ridiculous is that Katie and my spouse both respond the same way to weed. Like one time he told me his legs didn't work. He's tried it like 2 times ever, and he was like,
"Oh, weren't you guys like riding bikes?"
We were
and he
home.
said that.
We were on the couch.
I thought you were like riding bikes, and he was like, "I can't. My legs don't work."
We
call that the Biden effect.
So there was this. We used to live like on a bike path, and there was like a little brewery down the path from us. So we had gone there one afternoon, and just had like 1 or 2 beers. Like we were just sitting and chatting and had a couple beers. And we were like, all right, let's head back. And it was one of those like you stood up and got on your bike, and you're like, oh, that small microbrew stuff is like way stronger than I was expecting. And I was like, oh, I'm feeling that a little bit, but it was fine. He's just like really chaotic sometimes, especially on a bicycle. So we're riding and he's behind me, and I hear somebody going to pass us, right? So she goes, on your left, and she comes up and then she passes me, and I just hear like chaos, like a crash. And I was like, and then I hear somebody go, are you okay? So I pull over, and when she told him she was passing, he fucking panicked and went off the trail and fell. And I was like, why did you? He's like, I don't know, I panicked.
Okay, in your husband's defense, I do crap like that too, because I freeze and I don't know how to not be a problem. So like my fight or flight, like the signals get totally jacked up.
Yes.
It goes so far that I can be getting a pedicure and I'm like, oh, I want, let's say, a butterfly on my big toenail. And they're like, okay, don't move. Then I can feel my toe start twitching constantly. I was like, I don't know how to make it stop.
You're like, if I don't move right now, though, I'll die.
No, I don't even think about it. I'm trying to tell it not to. And it just like, all of a sudden, I'm having a seizure in my left foot.
Yes.
So like...
Whereas you could sit there completely still and be fine. But as soon as somebody's like, okay, you need to stay perfectly still, you're like...
Yeah. Like everything just happens all at once. Yes. And I am that person. So,
oh my God. Yeah, that was him. No, he just was convinced that his legs didn't work anymore. And to the point where he was like arguing with me. He was like, I can't walk. And I was like, yes, you can.
I don't go that far.
He goes, you need to call an ambulance. I was like, no, I don't. You need to go outside and get a fresh breath. I was like, calm down. I can't walk. Like, he was just so upset. And I was like, just go outside and like literally just like take a breath of fresh air, and you'll have some cold water. You'll be fine.
Yeah, no, I just couldn't get out of the pool. I have to go to the hospital.
Yeah, Katie couldn't get out of the pool.
Yeah, and then I was trying to like scoot to set up the camera to take a photo of us and another person in the pool, but I didn't want to like drag my ass across the concrete around the pool and like scrape up my swimsuit or scratch my whole backside off. And so I'm like trying to like slowly like lift and like place myself, and then, like,
the two of us
inchworm
trying
basically.
To set up, yes,
and
this camera.
I couldn't figure out how to move the top half of my body in tandem with the bottom half of my body. And the third person we were with was getting so frustrated with me. She was so upset by the end of this and like so irritated that I couldn't figure out how to take a fucking picture.
It was just every bit of it.
So
like
good.
Setting up the camera, trying to get things positioned, trying to make sure we were in frame. And it was a joint effort. It was both of us doing this, and we both couldn't do it because we were just
oh yeah. I was toast. It was great.
Yeah. She really was. Before even we went to the pool, she goes, "All right, give me another edible." I was like, "Are you sure you want?" She was like, "Yup." I was like, "Okay." You want this? Yup. Okay.
See, the perk of my wine is I don't remember those moments. It's like, and I also learned at some point that like if I'm gonna send maybe text messages where I'm very honest to people.
Where I agree to do a podcast with them.
No, that was not wine induced. I mean, where I'm like, you know what? I haven't told you the past 4 years what a piece of shit you really are. So, but tonight is a good time to do it. I have learned to delete that from my history while I am inebriated. And so therefore, I don't, when somebody's like, hey, last night you said, and I was like, no, I didn't. And I was like, oh, good job, drunk Jami, good job. Like trying to protect myself.
Turns out I did say that.
It worked.
Yep.
So
yeah.
And if you were Katie, you would read it and go, I stand by it.
Yes, me too.
That is usually
I'm glad I finally had the courage to tell you that. You deserve it.
Okay.
I'm
bold
so proud
of you to come at me
me
with some sort of attitude over what I said because I was right.
Right.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I have no regrets.
Oh, I believe you. I
mean, I have
you.
regrets, but not about that kind of stuff. And I think that's the type of regret-free energy is what we need to be bringing into this administration.
Yeah, because how else do you survive? You know
what are they going to do? Nothing. They're a bunch of fucking pussies with flags on their cars.
Yeah.
Give me a fucking break. What are you going to do? Wave a flag at me? Ooh, look at me.
What are they going to do? Take away abortion rights. They're going to take away like what you can wear, owning a credit card.
Katie's like, you can't touch me.
And I'm over here like, remember Afghanistan.
Jamie's like, Katie, they can. They probably will. Katie, don't do that.
And Katie's like, well, I'm going to live my life up till they do. So
truly, I will make them work for it.
Yeah. At minimum, I'm annoying as fuck.
Yeah.
At
that is my
best
motto.
Case scenario, I'm annoying as fuck.
Like, I will, yeah. It's that thing, like, it's the same energy of like, okay, well, if you're getting kidnapped, you have to like scratch and bite and like fight your way so that they can't get away with it because all of their DNA is going to be on you and like make it hard for them. It's the same energy. It's just like, they're not physically kidnapping me. They're just trying to, deprive me of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
That's all.
In every aspect of my existence. So, no biggie.
All. Yeah.
And maybe send a box of your own fecal matter to people.
I have options for fecal matter. I have a lot of fecal matter available to me, so they could get an assortment.
Mm-hmm. You know what? You should like put it out on a layer and dry it and then just send the fecal matter chips through the mail. And that way it's not going to harm the postal worker.
Yeah.
And then they're going to open it and be like, what is this? And then they like have to sift through it and be like, what is this? And then they have shit all over their hands, but they don't know it.
But on the inside of the cardboard, like once you peel it open, and so, like you pull up the cardboard, you should rub your chicken staff there too, because Yeah.
That's a good idea. Look, there's a new use for that.
Or find somebody with C. diff, because C. diff are spores, and you can't get rid of that with like alcohol.
Spores?
Yeah. That's why you actually have to. You have to wash your hands, because it doesn't go away with like alcohol or anything else. Like you literally have to wash it off of you,
right? Like scrub it off.
It's crazy contagious. Mm-hmm.
I didn't know
my
that
mom
it was
had that after
based.
her C-section with my brother. Yeah.
Ooh. She get a lot of antibiotics.
Yeah, and she can't take morphine. She gets like violently ill from it. So, she was struggling.
I'm sorry. Your mother, did she have a C-section?
Yeah.
And she got C. diff?
Yeah.
Nightmare fuel. I can't imagine anything worse than having a newborn baby recovering from a C-section having fucking C. diff.
Well, he was already in the hospital anyway because he had a hole in his heart. So, like, whatever.
Run me over with a car. If that happens, run me over. I can't. My resiliency is gone in that situation.
You know, they give stool transplants, like fecal matter transplants to people.
I find that so interesting because you also have to get fecal donations.
Yeah.
Yes.
You
get paid for it.
Yeah. How do I get paid to
there's like programs that you can sign up. You can sign up to be a fecal donor and they'll pay you. I know really because my mom was pushing me to do it. And I was like, I'm not boxing my poop.
It's got to be easier just to sell your plasma. Just do that.
Sell anything.
Take an egg.
Take an egg before I'm selling you my poop. I don't know.
I would totally sell my eggs.
There was a marathon runner once who had a really bad case of C. diff, and she ended up getting a transplant, like the fecal transplant, and it completely changed her like microbes, whatever. And so she gained like tons of weight, and because it changed so much.
I need the one to make you skinny.
Yeah, I bet that's the valuable ones.
Fascinating.
Yeah, it really is. It's a cool case study to read.
That's really cool.
That's so interesting.
Like not cool for her, but I mean,
I wonder how that like. Yeah,
it is.
Because like honestly, just do that instead of the Ozempic thing. Then you're not on a shot for the rest of. Yeah.
But Ozempic helps with your cholesterol.
Well, yeah, because you can't eat anything.
So there's a perk.
You just have no enamel on your teeth because you're yakking all the time.
That also happens from ADHD medications at times. Like, I have a new cavity and I don't even eat sweets.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Painkillers, too.
My family also has very bad, like, oral...
dental issues
genetics. Yeah. And it probably doesn't help, like, the acidity of wine that I drink, so...
Who's
that
counting?
could also do it. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, a friend of mine, all of her kids have really poor dentition, and it's like a genetic thing. They like just
some people have like bad enamel.
4 kids, and the oldest I think is going to be like 12 this year, or maybe 10. And they just found out that it's like a genetic thing, and with each pregnancy, it's gotten worse because the absorption rate has gone down. Like for like in utero.
Oh my God.
So yeah, I know. I was like, Jesus Christ.
So when I say I want to just like rip off the Band-Aid, this is the stuff I'm still not over the C. diff thing. Recovering from a C-section with C. diff just seems like the worst thing that could happen.
I'm pretty sure that's what who had it. It was my mom.
Oh my God.
But that's Garrett, since then they've also figured out that you can't throw...
That's a long time.
Yeah, that was 1990.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you can't throw tons of antibiotics, like not knowing an infection and all that, which is where C. diff comes from. Is it kills
all the good bacteria. Yeah.
So I think you're probably safe.
And that's what happened to my sister as a baby.
Yeah, you're definitely going to get MRSA before you get C. diff.
Yeah.
Which I also
fucking chickens
worried about.
But that's still not as bad as C. diff.
You should have seen my mom and I sterilizing like my entire house. It was.
See, that's what you need a nurse on deck for, because they know how to do that.
Yes.
Like, oh man, when I had pink eye in college, my mom was like, "This is what you do. You wash on the hottest setting if the sheets fall apart." Because I had like the shitty whatever sheets you get in college. She was like, "If they fall apart, I'll buy you new sheets."
Yeah.
She's like, "You're gonna put them in the hottest water." Blah 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 blah.
Yes. We were like,
it was awful.
Everything. I mean, my whole house, it was like a bleach solution on the whole. I mean, everything, because it was just like. And then I kept looking at her, going, "I can't believe we just had to do that. I can't believe that just happened."
It's extra special because last week's episode, I think it was, we were talking about your move into the house and how we got back and your mom was like, "So the laundry room flooded." And my comment was, "Well, at least it's not sewage." Sorry.
I'll never escape the poop. I'll never escape the poop. Never. So much poop in my life. Too much poop in my life, actually.
Look at this little guy.
What is Cole doing? Oh, there we go.
No.
He had his paw like all the way stretched out. Hi, Bubba. Don't touch me.
Fuck
Stupid
you.
bitch. You haven't gotten rid of the dog.
He said, I will make you suffer.
I think I actually, with my chicken infirmary, my dog walked in and the chicken immediately pecked at his face and he was like, what the?
Poor Bernie. I actually had a dream about your dog Reggie last night, that he was in my backyard and I had to let him out in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. And we usually have a light on in our backyard at all times, and that light had gone off. So I was like, relying on my neighbor's like ambient light to see your little mini dachshund in the dark, like figure out if he was done going to the bathroom or not. And because he was already basically slithering on the ground when he walked, it was like impossible to see if he had like accomplished anything.
I love that your nightmares that you have are my existence. Like my normal existence, Katie's like, that was a terrible nightmare.
I remember there was I
didn't have time to shower for 3 days. I don't even know. And then somebody gave me a cold. What?
I think it was in 2020. You were telling me, like that winter, how your husband was traveling for work and you had to get up and let the dogs out, and it just snowed. And then at the time, your backyard was enormous. And they ran to like the far corner and then like couldn't come back or something, like, so because the snow was too high. So you had to go get them in the middle of the night in your pajamas and then boots. Carry them up because they can't go up the stairs on their own because they're mini dachshunds and too small. And I just remember you telling me that and me going, no.
And that's why you had a nightmare.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, the horrors have persisted and they've gotten worse. So if you have a nightmare now about my life, it will be significantly worse than that one.
At least it's not a nightmare about missing my wedding and going like decoration shopping with you during my reception anymore.
I have dreams about missing weddings all the time. Sometimes it's my own, sometimes it's somebody else's. And I get a stain on my way to it.
That's fun.
Yeah. What anxiety?
I had a real life dream about missing my wedding. Like, that was just hope.
The back of your brain being like, run.
Yeah.
Don't go to the wedding. He sucks.
No, just everybody else.
It's so stressful. But Katie's like so on top of it.
Yeah. So we were talking about we were talking about that. And yeah, I mean, it's been pretty chill. There
was nothing chill about planning my wedding.
Yeah, I fully expect there to be issues when it comes to like coordinating everybody's schedules and making sure that, because I would really like to get like all the family and everything pictures done before the ceremony, which then means that I have all 4 of my siblings, their significant others, my mom, my dad, my stepdad, then PK's parents and his stepdad, and then his sibling's significant other.
What stepdad?
His mom is remarried.
No, you said your stepmom.
Yeah.
Okay. You said stepdad and I was like,
No, PK's stepdad.
Did Deb get married?
Surprise.
I was like,
So it's just so many people.
Yeah.
And so to do all that and then to be able to have time to do pictures with everybody, like individually in their groups, the big groups, everything, and then pictures with people who are at the wedding that want pictures.
Oh my God. That's
the part that I'm like, look, you all can show up, and if you don't want me to have a picture of you, then so fucking be it. I don't know. Like, whatever.
I think we did ours before the wedding, before the ceremony.
Yeah. That's the plan. I mean, I would love to be able to like get everything done and like have 30 minutes to like have a drink and take a fucking chill pill. And then.
Oh, you're definitely going to want to drink beforehand. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably 2. Just enough to be like, loose.
Yeah.
But not so much that you're like.
Having mimosas that day.
Yeah. Just not.
I'll just fill this thing with a mimosas.
Yeah. And I'm going to get blamed if you don't get there in one piece. So.
We'll mix it with like a non-alcoholic champagne, and that way
we're gonna have to find the balance of you needing a drink and not the drink.
Yes.
Y'all, I have that cup I got for Christmas that like you put your liquor or whatever alcohol on top. And so you have your regular drink in it. And so if you decide that you want alcohol, then you press a button and it gives you shots into your drink. Yeah. So some family functions, I take it. I'm like, nope, not today. Like, yeah.
That's
yes.
genius.
Yes.
That's
Well,
smart.
now I know what I'm putting in Garrett's goodie bag.
Yeah,
Yes.
because I need to be in
It's
charge
great.
of Katie's drink is the problem. Katie just can't be in charge of her own. I'm going to look over and she's going to be like,
Just hold it down the whole time so it just empties into it.
her pushing it like 6 times, taking a sip.
The flask cap.
That's
Yes,
smart.
that's it. It's great.
That's a smart design.
Mm-hmm. And they have a couple different of that. Like there's one that you can store your colder whatever in it, but that's not the one that I have. I have one that you literally just push the button so it lets it out from the cap.
That's a fun game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What's the difference between the Matic and the free pour? 2 different technologies. They're not going to sponsor us now. There's no way.
We have that realization after almost every product we discuss.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, they'll never sponsor us now.
It's just us and calm strips against the world.
Clamp strips.
They like a lot of my posts. I like them. They're
the best.
very
They're
like,
great.
yeah, they cheer on my stuff all the time. I'm like, oh, you're sweet.
Yeah, they're the
Yeah,
best.
they're super cute, and they've always been just delightful to work with. I
From
really
like the
them.
jump.
I believe that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they were always very nice to us, even when we were nobodies.
Yes. Like really, they were like one of our first anything from the very beginning.
Yeah, pretty much.
I just had little glowing eyes looking at me.
Why? From where?
Is it
The
from a
baby
wheelchair?
monitor. No, there's like night vision on the baby monitor. So
Oh.
she'll, if her eyes catch it, you'll be like, "Is she awake?" And you'll see her in her crib, and she's like, and suddenly you've just got glowing eyes looking at you.
That's fun.
It's real creepy.
Yeah, we got our engagement photos taken at Garrett's farm, and I texted her and said when we got the photos back that our photographer got a picture of the old farmer, Mr. Kramer.
And I was like, no,
in the background of one of our photos.
I don't want to see it. Don't send it to me. I don't want to know.
Send
So
it
I
to
sent
me.
I sent her the picture, and it was like the reflective triangles on this track on the back of a tractor that was like in the barn
Yeah.
behind us. So it just looked like red glowing eyes.
Yes, it was like the 2 like tail reflectors on the tractor reflecting back. And I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
it was
thank
really
God.
fun though.
Oh, thank God.
Because we also left that night, and PK was like, "Okay, well, you have fun with the guy in the window up there," and like kept saying stuff to Garrett. It was really mean.
I was like, thank you for
What
that.
if you would have brought the wheelchair as part of your props for your engagement photos? That would have been fun.
You
Someone
could've.
still would have had to go into the attic, and it's not going to be me.
It's
'Cause
also
I
not
watched
gonna
The
be me.
Skeleton Key, and that movie terrifies me.
I'm not afraid of ghosts. Y'all just call me anytime you need me to bring down that wheelchair. I'll get
You
it.
should be, because the ghosts are scary.
Yeah, they like me. We're friends.
I'm definitely going to be a ghost someday, but until that day, I'm afraid of them.
Until that
I'm
day,
like-
I am a Christmas worm. And Christmas worm only.
I'm 5'0". Like I feel like I just blend in with all the, not real things in life because I'm just a tiny compact thing.
They're like
So
goblins,
they're like,
fairies.
she's not worth leprechauns.
Gremlins.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Jamie.
Yeah.
I mean, I have the same problem. I totally have the same problem. But it is.
You're still taller than Big Ed on 90 Day Fiancé.
That's true.
So.
That's true. I do have
And
that going for me.
Have a neck.
Yeah.
You do. You have all of your
Sometimes.
vertebrae.
Doesn't feel like it right now because I have bad posture.
Whatever.
Maybe that's what happened to him. Just carrying around kids all the time caused him to get so compressed. I'm kidding.
Truly. No, I mean, it would. It would. Thank God this kid's finally walking because I was like, you're like coming up on 30 pounds, man. And you're almost as long as me. Like, I can't carry you forever. So
There's this
go.
trend on TikTok right now where people are showing their 99th percentile kids, and
Mhm.
somebody had a 7-month-old that weighs 35 pounds.
Mm-mm.
The
I
kid
knew
is
somebody that had a
huge.
kid like that. I mean, she was like, I'm trying to think. She's like 98th, 97th for height. And
your friend or her child?
My child.
Oh, okay.
Her friend's 6'4".
I knew somebody who was, she was breastfeeding, and this kid was 6 months old and he weighed 30 pounds. I was like,
damn.
What? What's even?
It's just like
left?
her breast milk is just like Vaseline. Like it's just
Yes.
oil.
Yeah. It's just like straight olive oil coming out.
Yes.
That kid's going to need Ozempic later from all the cholesterol.
It's the inside of a burrata is what
Yes.
her breast milk is.
Yeah.
It's
like
whole milk.
Just cholesterol.
Yes.
Yeah, it's no joke. I mean, she's like 84th or something for weight, 98th for height. I mean, she's a bruiser. She really is.
I mean, so was I, and then I stopped growing in 5th grade. So.
Same.
I never was. 8th grade, I think I was like 4'8" and 80 something pounds. So.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So no, I was exactly the same. Yeah. I weighed less, but same height, everything.
Yeah, I've been the same height since I was like 10.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, you're going to be so tall.
When I used to coach gymnastics, little kids would come up to me. They're like, Miss Jami, I'm almost as tall as you, as like 6 years old. I'm like, that's not an accomplishment. So I'm like, don't get too excited.
Yeah, no. I can still kick you in the knee, jerk.
Because it's at
that's
the level
why I
of my
don't
knee,
coach
so.
gymnastics.
I would love to see the side by side of the two of you coaching.
Well, that's why you do the rolling to get to where you need to try.
So what you do is you take the pickle and you chew it like a baby bird.
It's better than liver mush.
That's true.
That's true.
That's totally true. That stuff is vile.
Yeah, I would rather have a pickle than liver, I think.
Or pate. Yeah. It's disgusting.
Yeah. Although liverwurst doesn't actually contain liver, typically.
Just the name. My dad used to eat.
It smells like liver.
I don't know what liver smells like.
Oh, it's got a gross smell.
My dad eats hog head pudding. And so growing up, there's like names of things in the South that they aren't.
Is it like spotted dick in England? Like it just doesn't, that's just what they call it.
Is it like head cheese?
Made from like carpet or something?
So that's what I thought. And I was wrong. It's actually like brain and hog face stuff that is like blended together and made into like a sausage, and it's black.
Don't you want to eat a pig's sinus cavity?
And you eat it in grits? I don't know. Yeah. So like I grew up eating that
stuff.
Hog head pudding is what they called it.
Well, yeah. What else are you going to call it?
Yeah. You know what? Knowing that, I'll hand it to them. The name works. It works.
There's so many reasons why I don't eat animal products nowadays. Like,
yeah,
I think I was scarred. Yeah.
So it's in a sausage?
Yeah, it's in like a long link, almost like kielbasa sausage. You know how it has like the longer,
like it loops around.
Yeah,
like a cartoon,
like a cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
Yes, I guess like
and
a cul-de-sac.
It's very salty and spicy. In case you were wondering, that's why it's good in grits.
Okay.
God.
What's wrong with andouille?
The texture of that with grits would.
I guess
it blends in with the grits.
I appreciate that you're using every part of the animal. I will.
Uh-huh.
I'll give them that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's just not for me. I would rather use the brain to like tan a piece of leather than to eat.
But what if you eat it with grits in a sausage?
I'd rather just have, you know what, that brunch place down by the courthouse has grit tots that they serve with like sausage gravy and like some hot sauce, and it's so fucking good. Like cheesy grit tots with sausage gravy and hot sauce, and they're so delicious, and it's an appetizer, and they give you the tiniest little skillet of them. And you get like That's 5 cute. Grit tots. And I was like, I want them, but like on principle, I think it's bullshit that you're charging me $9 and giving me 5 cubes of grits. It's a grit.
Like, yeah, it's truly like cornmeal.
Loosen the purse strings.
Cornmeal, yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing as polenta. Yeah, like it's couldn't be like a cheaper
thing
that they're
but they're really good. So you can have grits with a whole other thing. You don't have to have it with brain goop
Yeah.
and tongue pudding. Like, bleh. Nah.
You can have it with shrimp. Shrimp and grits. That's
Shrimp and grits.
delicious thing here.
Yeah. Not. God damn. What was it? Hog head pudding?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I'm going to gross so many people
I just feel
out
like
with
you
that.
got to like
I can't
scoop it
wait.
out. Like you got to serve it in a hog
Head.
skull.
Right.
Yeah. Like that's very Game of Thronesy.
Yeah.
I never watched the Game of Thrones.
Good for you.
Wow.
I'm impressed.
That's kind of impressive.
Yeah. I'm impressed.
But Lena Headey follows me on Instagram.
Every time we talk to you, you like drop a little tidbit of like
oh my
who you have
gosh.
mutuals for, and I'm just like,
It organically went into that.
We had what's his
It's
name?
not a brag. It's just a.
I'm not saying you're bragging. It's just like it comes up, and every time I'm like, it's a new person, and I'm still blown away.
Oh yeah, we had Trevor Noah watch one story he was tagged in, and we were on the moon.
That's
Yes.
still awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Mo
Did y'all read
Collins
his
too.
book, Born a Crime?
Oh yeah,
No, I
No.
didn't.
Oh, that's good. You should read it.
Yeah,
It's a good one.
I have one on my nightstand. I've read 22 pages of, and I've had it for over a month. So I'm doing really well with it.
I mean, it's
will
still
never
progress.
finish it.
no better time to unplug from the news cycles.
Right?
Yeah, I think suddenly I'm going to become a voracious reader again.
Yeah.
Because I won't be able to look at my phone.
Plus, you have to read the books before they start banning them.
That's true. That's true.
What are we living in right now?
I
I
know.
just can't.
I know.
Afghanistan, that's where we're living. Just
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've got friends who are like, all right, so if we have to flee DC, can we come to your house? I was like, yeah, sure.
Yep. Pretty much.
Yeah, because everybody's just like real. I mean, I remember, last time he was elected, everybody was doing the same thing. And the federal government was like, let's spend a bunch of money now because we don't know what's going to happen. Let's, wipe out the last of our budgets before the transfer of power. And I think this time it's definitely more unsettling, more scary. So
Yeah.
maybe the podcast is going to get pulled off the air. Who knows?
I mean, probably not in New York, but Jami might have trouble finding it online. Until you move up here.
Yeah. Is Pornhub banned in North Carolina yet? Is it?
It
It's
is?
banned in like 14 states, right?
yeah. And
Yeah.
it was banned in North Carolina before South Carolina. And I read, I think yesterday on Impact, because I follow them. Anyway, so they were putting.
And they
'cause I was
follow
like,
you.
no, they do not.
Vice.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe I should look. I don't.
New York
I only know when
Times,
people tell
I
me.
think.
But Under the Desk News definitely does on TikTok. So
I know. I'm blown away. I'm so
Yeah.
jealous.
yeah,
And they're in Rochester.
yeah. You know what? Cool people are cool people. So that's how I got with y'all.
Yeah, we hunted you down.
That was Mora. I try to look for her.
I know.
months
She goes
ago.
in and out.
Yeah, I haven't seen
Yeah.
her back in quite a while. I
Yeah.
worry about her. She's a beautiful soul.
Yeah. I
Man,
know.
she's a beautiful person, period. Gorgeous lady. But yeah, Pornhub's banned in North Carolina. A lot of
And
southern
why
places.
is it banned? Just because of the porn?
Morality.
Or is it like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's not owned by a foreign adversary.
I don't know who owns it.
Do we really know?
I don't know who owns it, but
And Texas
mean,
has made it
Someone
where
with a
you
really
have
small
to,
wiener, probably.
a lot of money at this point.
Texas has made it where you have to show your ID every time you log in. To
Every
Pornhub now.
time?
Mhm.
I think
'cause they're-
Utah too, right? I think Utah.
I don't
did
know.
the
I
same
definitely
thing.
know Texas.
Yeah.
But
Which is weird because
Probably.
I feel like for Utah, it's fine if you look at it as long as you don't touch your boner when you get one.
or you just have somebody shake the bed and hold it
Yeah.
for you, right?
Yes.
That's why they have like office
soaking?
chairs on wheels. Yeah. So you just like rock back and forth and you'll be
Oh.
fine. Doesn't count.
Yeah.
God.
I
Catherine.
nope, not going there. So yes. But it's supposedly like some morality thing in the South, but they're wanting to ban it like maybe completely everywhere. This is just a big push to make people show their ID when logging into it.
That's so weird. It's
so
just
the
weird
underage
to
children
ban
can't
it.
see porn.
Like, I don't know. Just let them see porn. Like, what's the problem? Just let them watch porn.
Immorality.
You know what happens when you don't watch porn? You turn into Josh Duggar. That's what happens when you're not allowed to watch porn as a teenager.
Turn into priests.
All that.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I personally think.
Or, senators.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's kind of weird. Like, that they would push for that literally when so many senators and people in Congress
are probably using their DC VPN to log in from their home state where it's banned.
Yeah, but they do it all across the country.
Just gets it live from children in high school, so.
But so as
that's
much as like
concern.
Everything's terrible, right? And we hate everybody, but Matt Gaetz' plastic surgery is hilarious.
I love his gender affirming care journey.
Yes. His eyebrows.
He literally took in like Beavis and Butthead, and he was like, "This is what I want. Yes. this is who I want to be."
But make
that
my
SNL
eyebrows
skit
go like this.
Of Beavis and Butthead sitting behind the woman who's questioning Neil deGrasse Tyson on SNL, and she like turns around
fantastic.
and like loses it when she sees him, and he's like,
"That was really funny.
It was so good.
It was really. We laughed really, really hard.
His eyebrows are like."
Yes.
Getting tangled with his bangs.
Yes.
Y'all, what about Snoop? It made me think of it because like Dave Chappelle was just on, and I was like, I saw it. At the inauguration ball.
Yeah, and Nelly and someone else.
That doesn't, and Soulja Boy. It doesn't bother me as bad as Snoop. Yeah, but he did a thing with Tim McGraw, so like he was kind of crisscrossing over into country back then. Does not shock me with Nelly. Snoop Dogg, though,
is surprising.
Like, yeah.
I mean, Tupac called it. However, with him saying, in 2020, when he was like, yeah, so what, jigaboo, whatever, like, who's going to be the first one to perform? Yes, Master, like, he was literally making fun of anyone Black who would perform for Donald Trump.
Right.
And fast forward.
Now he's like, no, the internet can't be forever. This is a problem.
There's just
y'all should go to his comment section and read like his post right now, because he put out like 300 posts in 24 hours, like during all of this, to try to,
I'm sure,
like, cover up. Oh, the comment section is something.
Well, didn't he announce over the summer that he was going to stop smoking weed? And
I don't know, possibly.
It was like a big thing then. So I'm wondering how long ago he knew he was going to perform at this inauguration. Mm-hmm. If it was like he had to kind of step away from the weed thing to get this gig.
Yeah, it's like, then don't pick.
They care about the image.
I don't know.
Well, then you wouldn't have 3 Black men who are rappers performing if you cared about your image.
I don't know.
Because that's literally against their thing.
It's just the kind of thing, like at this point, like I know that I'm sounding like I need to wear a tinfoil hat, but like there's just so many different things that like it can't be a coincidence.
But the Super Bowl, what, in 2022 was it, when they had like everybody freaked out. All of that side, they were like, how dare they? Like they had a lot to say about Dr. Dre, Eminem, Snoop, all of them performing for it. And here we are today. Like, that's a strange pivot.
So he must be trying, though, to get the people that loved that performance, like us, the olds.
Yeah, because and that's what I think. Everything is just
too soon.
It's just a grift, you know. It's just like whatever. So there's no moral compass guiding it. There's no value system guiding it. It's like whatever is gonna get the most reaction, the most likes, the most responses, drum up engagement.
Or did he have anything to do with Diddy? And so would this make sure that legally he wouldn't be? I have no idea. I don't think he did. Speculating.
I don't think he did, strictly because he's like a West Coast guy and Diddy was a New York guy, is a New York guy.
I feel like if he did, then Jay-Z would have taken him down already.
Potentially.
With everything he's going through.
I don't know. Who all has he taken down so far? Like, there's a lot of people.
Well, they're dealing with that lawsuit.
Yeah, Jay-Z. Yeah, he was.
Beyonce instead, like, you know, had her old Christmas album thing, and the the country Christmas album, and then the halftime show and all that. So there's no such thing as an ethical billionaire.
That hurts me over Taylor Swift.
It does, but she's got to give up that fucking private jet. I understand why she flies private, but like, fuck off. You are also famous enough that they can get you onto the plane without having to go through general admission.
You know who I saw on a commercial flight one time? Bernie Sanders.
Really?
And his wife. Yeah. We saw they had just done a rally in outside New Orleans, and we saw them at the New Orleans airport.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Did they have puke shoes on?
They didn't have puke shoes on. No, I don't know what puke shoes are.
When you went to New Orleans, some guy was like water falling puke.
Everybody
in your shoes.
pukes in New Orleans. Yeah. There's a lot of puking in New Orleans.
That's all I know about New Orleans. I mean, I know other things, but the only thing that matters and the first thing that comes to mind when I think of New Orleans is that story of you guys in New Orleans and having to throw away your shoes.
Yes. Yeah, my biggest piece of advice would be wear closed-toed shoes when you go to New Orleans.
It also smells like urine.
Oh, yeah. Bar,
so
beer. Smells a lot like beer. Just a lot
I don't mind that
smell.
Scent.
Yeah.
But like, it smells
I want
like
beer that
I don't know,
hasn't
beer
been in your stomach.
mixed with BO at 180 degrees humidity. Like,
yeah.
It also
I don't want that.
It smells like a Subway. I think is the best.
Yeah.
The sandwich shop or the place?
Yes.
Like a Subway system.
Okay.
She said yes.
Both.
Together.
Oh my God.
Oh man. This was so fun. I'm so glad we got to surprise you with this, Karen.
Me too. That was lovely. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I've had the best time.
It was
Me
fun.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, not having to have any format for this show is really working for us.
It has to work right now. I can't. I just can't.
Proud of you for showing up, Garrett.
Thank you. Thank you.
So where can our listeners find you, Jami?
Oh, I am at the Neurodivergent Nurse on TikTok. I don't do that as much, period, but on Instagram and anywhere for major podcast platforms, the Neurodivergent Nurse podcast as well. So kind of got back into that. I took a month off, but like that's been a pretty consistent thing, which I'm very proud of myself because I feel like I go through these trends.
Hard.
Yeah.
It is hard.
Consistency is hard.
Yes. We can.
And you have a Patreon too as well.
Right? I do. The Neurodivergent Nurse on that as well. And Instagram, I have like paid subscribers where I do extra stuff every week, just little educational things to help out with ADHD.
I love that.
For sure. Yeah. We talked about one of your posts about risk taking among women with ADHD.
Yeah, I listened to that one. That was great. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we literally couldn't have done it without you.
You know what? Our knowledge is community knowledge. So as long as it helps people, that's all that matters.
Yeah. Yes. Agreed.
So true. Yeah. So in the meantime, I mean, give to mutual aid and support your community because we're in for one.
Shit's about to get real.
We are on Instagram and Threads and Blue Sky and YouTube at The Bar is Ankle High. We are on TikTok for now at Ankle High Pod. Give us 5 stars wherever you find us. We have merch at bit.ly/ankle high merch. And you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/thebarIsAnkleHigh for just $5 a month to get ad-free video and extended episodes. And that's all I got.
It was excellent. Loved
Thank you. I worked so hard on it.
I could tell.
Solid. It's very professional.
Yeah. So until next week, I don't know. What do you think?
Gird your loins.
Because the bar is ankle high.
I thought there was going to be something. I thought another option would be offered.
Nope. That's it.
I can't wait.